Hello everyone, my name is Abby Bliss White and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to do a get ready with me playing with a bunch of makeup that I just hauled. So I've got the new Byredo Flora Kalahari palette. So we're going to create a look with this beautiful palette. I've got my current favorite Sisley Complexion products that we are going to be putting on my face today, as well as playing with a little bit of Trinny London makeup. So we're going to have a little fun playing with makeup, finishing off with a fragrance of the day as usual. So if you are interested in seeing how I created this look using some new fun makeup, then let's go ahead and get started. Good morning, everyone. It is time to put makeup on this face, and I'm going to be using a bunch of makeup that I just hauled as promised. So we're going to start with Complexion, and I did pick up this Sisley Instant Eclat, and this is the Instant Glow Primer. So many of you were telling me how amazing this was, and I'm actually not a big primer girl, but I love the idea of an instant glow. So I have been using this along with my favorite little cushion from Sisley and just loving that combination. So I'm going to pull you in just a bit. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of that primer that's glowy, put it underneath my eyes to give myself a little brightening effect, a little bit all over. And this primer feels very much like skin care, but it does have a nice little glow. And I like to just use my fingertips with this. Yes, you can see it really does give you a nice little instant glow. And I'm just going to pat that in with the warmth of my hands. I don't like to use too much of the primer, but it does feel very hydrating, and I'm hoping you can see it is going to give you a nice subtle glow. So this isn't going to be like disco ball glow. It's just going to make you look like you have healthy skin. Then I thought I would go ahead and use the Sisley. This is the Phyto Blanc Le Cushion. I'm afraid I do really love this foundation, but the shade range is so limited that I just kind of find it to be sad. So truly, this is only going to work for those of you that are fair to light medium. Like I am using the darkest in shade 1 in, but as I mentioned, the rep had told me that the Phyto Tint Nude, this one does have an expanded shade range, and it does give you a similar look on the skin, but this one's just going to be a bit more sheer, whereas the cushion does have a bit more coverage. Now I've been being a little high maintenance using both of these products together. So I have this one in the shade 1 in Ivory, and then I have this one in the shade 1C Petal. And I always put just like a little drop on my beauty blender, and we'll kind of put that on top to give myself a little extra glow. So again, I'm not telling you that you need to go out and buy those two foundations. I'm just showing you a little tip that she gave me at the counter because we weren't quite sure if this was the right shade for me. And I did want to go ahead and try this out because many of you were asking me about this cushion. So I'm a YouTuber. I have an excuse for having that. It does not mean that you have to be high maintenance like me. But what I will do is I like to use this foundation with a little damp beauty blender. And if you can see, this foundation just gives you such a pretty glow, but it is already making me look a little bit better. Skin is getting evened out, and I am just going to pounce this into my skin. Okay, this is what the foundation looks like on its own with that Instant Glow primer. And I just find that it really does give me this healthy skin look that I love. And then I am just going to take a little bit of this Phyto Nude. And this one's very thin, so I literally take like a drop. So I'll show you what I've been doing. And I just take a teeny drop. This is very liquidy, just like that. And then I'll take a little dot on my face, and then I'm just going to pat that in. And I find that that little bit of extra color kind of brings my skin to life. So that was actually a tip from the Sisley rep. I think that she adds a drop or two of this Phyto Tint Nude into all of her foundations just to give you that extra glow. So we're gonna let this sink in to the skin and go ahead and play with the eyes. And we're gonna be using this beautiful Byredo. This is the Flora Kalahari palette, and here are all the gorgeous colors right here. And I've just been having a little bit of fun playing with this palette. So if you guys have been watching me for a while, you know that I'm not really a palette girl. I just get a little overwhelmed as to how to play around with these palettes. There's almost like too many colors and such. But this one attracted me because I loved the color story here, but also because I have a couple of the smaller compacts and I really did like the formula of these Byredo shadows. We're gonna go ahead and create a look today. So far, all I have used is this matte shade right here, along with this little sparkler over here. So pretty. But I thought I might go over to this one here today and play around with a little taupe and peach and maybe bring in either the green or the teal. I am going to use the blue eyeliner that I picked up from Byredo, so I want to work within that confine too. This is their crayon Kajal, and I love that color. So for today's look, I'm actually going to try this color over here, kind of these peachy taupey colors, and then bring in that pop of blue. We can kind of smoke out the eye. I did that with the more earth toned, warmer colors, which I loved as well. I'm going to start by putting this lighter peachy pink shade all over my eyes. Just kind of lay that down just a little bit. I'm literally just playing today. Now this really does come with a really beautiful mirror, which is fantastic. And I'm just going to lay down a little bit of that shade all over the eye. And it looks like this color is multi-chrome, guys. I'm getting a little bit of pink, I'm getting a little bit of golds coming out. So kind of a cool little color there. And then I'm going to come into this matte color over here, right here, basic taupe. And let's see how that plays on top. I think it might look pretty. And I'm using a Wayne Goss number 16 brush. this color right over here is multi-chrome, and then when I topped it with that taupe, it kind of created a pretty wash of color on the eyes. Now, before I put on any more shadow, I want to go ahead and use this crayon kajal from Byredo, and this is in this gorgeous blue color right here. So I kind of want to play up the blue and leave the eyes just like a little wash of color, has a little bit of sparkle going on. But let's use this first and then see what else we need to do. So I'm going to use this in the waterline first. On the upper level, I'm going to come in and wiggle between the lash lines. Now with a kohl, I tend to like to smudge it out. Now that crayon is very smudgy, just like a kajal should be. So I'm just using whatever's left on my brush and bringing a little bit of that color underneath the eye. So I'm not even needing to put any more of the product on. That is such a stunning color of eyeliner, so I love it. And don't worry, we are going to clean up underneath the eyes. And again, with a kajal, they are supposed to be creamy and blendable and smudgy. This is not going to have a kind of precise eye look. It is going to be a little bit more lived in and smudgy. So we've got a little impact on this eye, so we're going to come over to this one right here. Over here on the end, you guys, I am lifting that color up. And then you see I got a little smudge underneath my eyes. Do not worry. We are going to clean that up. Okay, I'm making a little bit of a mess from that crayon kajal. Again, this is user error, not necessarily the fault of a crayon. They are supposed to be creamy and smudgy and all of that. So I am just going to try to match each side. What I am going to do is I'm going to come over to this shade over here, which is a matte shade just right here. And I'm just going to run a little bit of that color underneath the lash line just for a little bit of shadow. And then I'm going to come in right over here to this beautiful snow color right here. We're going to add a little bit of that sparkle in that inner area right here. And I will blend that. It'll add a little bit of brightness, and do not worry, once we put mascara on and concealer, everything will come together. A little bit of color from my eyeliner that is coming up into the crease. That is totally fine. We are just going to blend that out a bit. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go put on mascara, and then we'll kind of clean up underneath the eyes and see if we want to add any more shadow, or maybe just be putting in a little of the bronzer that I'm going to be using today in the crease. But so far I've used just a few shadows, and this palette's definitely going to give you a little impact on your eyes. So let me go clean up my brows, put on my mascara, and then we can play around a bit. Okay guys, I have put on mascara, cleaned up my brows, and just wanted to show you what I have created so far. And what I will tell you is that yes, the eyeliner sort of stole the show because you could really smoke it out and make it dramatic. I am not saying that I don't like it. I just am saying that it does smudge around a little bit, and I do actually love the color. So I'm going to leave my eyes so far with just those minimal shadows using this beautiful palette, but we will play around with more colors and tones in here. Next time I'm not going to use the eyeliner, and we'll kind of play around with a few of the more fun colors. So I feel like I've got enough of an impact on my eyes so far. I am going to go ahead now and put on the Sisley Botanical Concealer. And as I said the other day, I do like this concealer, but I didn't like the shade I had, so I just picked up shade number 1, and I like it much better. So this is shade number 1, and I am going to go ahead, put a little bit of this in that eye area, which will also help clean up that eyeliner just a bit. And I'll go ahead and use the concealer brush that comes with it first. And I am just going to blend a little bit of that underneath my eyes. Okay, we've brightened up underneath the eyes, and the reason I do like that concealer is because it truly feels like a treatment, like an eye cream that is tinted, and it will start to sort of mesh underneath my eyes, but not necessarily like dive into the wrinkles. So I'm gonna let that sink in, and we are gonna use a few Trinny London products on the cheeks today. So they sent me the Golden Glow. This is her bronzer, and this is in Gaia. And let me show you the tone here, just like that. Super pretty. So we're gonna tap some of this on today, and don't worry, we are gonna do a full Trinny London full face, but I wanted to go ahead and play. So you guys, these are so creamy and easy to use. So I'm just kind of tapping this on first, and then we can add on from there. And this shade is going to give me a very subtle bronze, nothing too dark. And going to kind of brush that up to my hairline. I'm going to be getting my hair done tomorrow, getting rid of this gray, and I just want to blend that in, just like all of her products. They can be used with your fingertips, or just with a brush, whatever you prefer, but it is pot makeup, and I'm finding that that just gave me a little bit of warmth on the skin. Not super dark or intense, perfect for this transitional spring into summer months. And then for blush, I'm going to be using the color Lady J. This is such a good color right here. And just going to put it right here. Don't worry, I'll blend it all in. Trying to bring my blush up a little higher to kind of lift my face. I tend to always want to bring it down a little bit lower, but I am trying to lift everything up, so going just a little bit higher up on the cheeks. Isn't that a good color? Nice neutral little flush. Okay, I'm gonna quickly set my makeup with a little powder, and I went ahead and pulled out my La Mer, sorry, fingerprints, La Mer sheer powder in light, and I am just going to set everything since I've got a bunch of cream products on, and I am just taking a little brush here, and I don't want to take away the glow, but I definitely do want to set everything. we'll go ahead and use the glow maker. This is the Sisley, I believe it is the Phyto Touche bronzer. And again, just like to take my big La Mer fluffy brush, take a little bit of this bronzer, and I am just going to blend everything and add a little bit of extra glow on the skin. I'm going to use a little bit of my bronzer in the crease, and I just want to show you I am getting a little bit of this eyeliner bleed up into my eye look, but I'm not necessarily thinking it looks bad. I just want to go ahead and blend it a bit. So I'm just taking a little bit of my bronzer, and I am just going to soften and deepen that little crease area. And I feel like that will tie everything together. And again, Kajal eyeliners are supposed to be creamy and smudgy and all that good stuff. I just always tend to wear more gel waterproof eyeliners. So kind of was like, ooh, I'm getting this all over my face. So haven't used them in a while. And then for lips, I'm going to use the combination of cocoa as well as nude mixed together of these Sisley Phyto Rouge Shine Lippies. I love these, you guys. I truly do. And you'll get to see cocoa on its own. And this is the shade Sheer Cocoa. And then I'm going to go ahead and top it with my favorite nude. And someone was asking me if this was a pink nude or a like traditional beige nude. I do think there's a bit of pink in here. So let me just give you a quick little swatch here. I do find that it is leaning a bit more, a little bit of pink in there. And that's why I love this nude so much. And I'm just going to show you the combination of the two just really turns in to a super pretty color. Now again, you do not have to get two lipsticks to create this shade. I just had gone in to purchase Rosewood and that was out of stock, and then we were looking at other colors and kind of mixing them around, and I ended up thinking that the mix of these two colors were gorgeous, and I knew I would use nude every single day. So this is the combination of Sheer Cocoa and Sheer Nude. Okay, then we're going to finish off with fragrance of the day. And of course, I am going to put on Oud Jean Intense. This is my ultimate favorite fruity, floral, tropical fragrance. This smells so freaking amazing, and the sun popped out, and I'm gonna get outside and take a walk. Let me take a quick little peek at what the weather is. I know that it's not super warm out, but let's see. Oops, I'm looking at Santa Monica. It's 68 in Santa Monica. That is not where I'm located. Okay, it is 52 degrees here, but there is not any rain, so I will take that, and I'm going to pretend that it is 82 degrees. I'm going to go ahead, put some of this on, and I also wanted to show you the sprayer is amazing. This just smells so good. It makes me happy. I feel a bit flirty. It also makes me feel young. It doesn't smell young, but it makes me feel young, if that makes any sense. I think there's like a little bit of fun flirtiness and playfulness to this fragrance that just literally lifts my spirits, and it just dries down into a really gorgeous floral scent. Not the kind that's gonna make your belly sick or anything like that. Just a beautiful, soft, like creamy floral. So there is that ylang ylang in here that I always feels like gives you that creamy, kind of yellow floral feel. I feel like the juice of the perfume here just really resembles like this warm sunshine, shiny, happy people. That's what's kind of coming to my mind when I wear this. But this is just truly the best fruity, floral, tropical fragrance out there, and I just treasure it. So gonna wear that today. So this is my final look of the day, playing with some new makeup. So I do need to play a little bit more with this Byredo palette. This is completely out of my wheelhouse. You guys know I love those neutral, easy to use quads, but this one just sort of spoke to me. It looked so pretty. Thought it would be kind of fun to use. So we will do another look using this. As far as that Kajal eyeliner, I do think it is great. I just haven't used those in a while, and it is going to be a bit more smudgy. I love the color of the Neela. So this is a bit more of a user error as far as the crayon itself. Don't want to knock it because I think it's great. I just kind of made a little bit of a mess using it, and pretty much loved everything else I used on my face today. So I hope you enjoyed this little get ready with me, and I hope you have a fabulous day.